Hey, what's up? It's APX. Welcome to my first Darkmoon Faire video. This one will be a little bit different than what I'll be doing in the future. This will just sort of be some gameplay from today with the new decks, just with some commentary, just to sort of talk about the meta, sort of where Mage is going, and just my thoughts so far, since I don't have a ton of time to edit something together. Just want to get back to playing really after I make this video and streaming. Still a lot of stuff I want to do, but today I started with 3 decks mainly and just sort of played around with them a lot. Today I focused on Cyclone Mage with different elementals, Lunacy, different types of stuff in there. Like Cyclone Mage from last expansion, not the new Confection Cyclone. Although it is very confusing because it also does have the new Confection Cyclone. But I guess Small Spell Mage as you know it. This one right here though, as you see there, is Lunacy Mage. So this, you can kind of see the deck list on the right. I'll also post it in the description, but pretty much this deck, you just hope and pray to the RNG gods that you draw Lunacy on turn 2. And then the deck kind of figures itself out, which I will show here. Like, you don't really need to get lucky with your spells for Lunacy on 2 to be good. It's going to look like you're lucky, maybe to your opponent, but really most spells, especially once you start drawing some cards, are pretty great. Yeah, I think this game will probably be a little bit of a blowout because, yeah, Lunacy on 2, it doesn't really matter. You'll see soon. But I tried to build this deck to kind of just make the best use of random spells as I could. So I tried to add some 4 manas because when I play like Polymorph and Ring Toss and then Lunacy, those will turn into 7 mana cards. And I find 7 mana is really good, as you can see just in 2 seconds. Just wipe this board, take like box, all this card draw. You just get so much removal, I find. Like, I have a Soul Mirror in my hand too if I really needed it. So my kind of impression on this deck is best deck in the game if you draw Lunacy on 2. Worst deck in the game if you don't find Lunacy in the first couple turns. Maybe not worst deck, but it's definitely interesting. If you want sort of a fun kind of hope I win on turn 2, like Keleseth, if you remember that kind of deck, but with more RNG stuff, then I would definitely try it out. If you're thinking of crafting a deck and you just want to play something to win, I would not craft this as your first deck, unless you just live by the memes. So this one I probably won't be playing too much, but it is like maybe fun, tilted, just Q Lunacy Mage kind of thing. I could see myself playing Lunacy Mage, actually. More than I thought I would. Anyways, kind of just going to skip through the rest of this one. I think he just concedes here. Yeah, I get like double secret from Ring Toss and just not beatable. Skip to the next one. This one is actually another one. I'll go through this one really quick because it's probably kind of boring watching me just destroy people. This one is, again, yeah, very good hand. This is basically, you can see by my face, like, the best hand you can get is card draw for very free Lunacy Cyclone. So I'll kind of just skip through this one. Very similar to last game, just blow them out early because how can you not? And you look at like my hand, so much fallback and really hard to lose when you draw this on 2. I think I drew Lunacy on 2 maybe 5 times in 7 or 8 games, which is really lucky, and I won every game I drew Lunacy and lost every game I didn't. Pretty polarizing. So the next deck I played was Secret Mage, which I probably played the most out of the 3 decks. I played the 3 deck types I played today. So Secret was one of the big ones they're pushing with the new Legendary Sage, and then all the new Secret cards. It's a pretty fun deck. I'll kind of just show you. I mean, it works sort of as you would think. If you've played Secret Mage back in the day or in Wild, you'll know. It's very similar to that still. Probably weaker overall. So yeah, you really just want to get your Kirin Tors, your 1-drops, your 2-drops. I ended up adding Secret Keeper a little later to sort of try and make it more aggressive. I really wanted to make an aggressive burn deck because those are always fun to play. And when they're good, they're really fun. So here's like the turn 3 Occult Conjurer, kind of one of the better hands you could get. Okay, actually not sure if I'm considering it. Okay, I go for it here. So the turn 3 Conjure, I considered coining Jandis, but yeah, I just get the Conjure down now. That's where Rigged Fair game is pretty nice though. I'll actually go back a second, and then I could have not played Rigged Fair to guarantee the Occult, which you will sometimes do, but I feel like Druid might be pressured to proc the Rigged Fair or be scared of another secret like Counterspell. So he actually just hero powered to proc it, or sorry, to not proc the secret, and by not activating the secret, I can Occult. So I think it was kind of fine either way, and then if it did activate, I wouldn't Occult, but I would save my coin and maybe draw into Kirin Tor or something. But this draw 3 for cheap is very good sometimes. It's really, really good when you can get it early. Like now I'm working with a 9 card hand, which is a lot better than working with not a 9 card hand. Especially when you got the board. So when you can get board and draw together, these decks get pretty good. So when you can really get those secrets going in these occults, it's a great deck, but I just find there's too many situations where you'll fall behind on board, and unless you have maybe really good flak mages or something to clear, it can be hard to come back on board just with secrets. I didn't opt for cards like Flame Ward because they're too weak when you're trying to just fight for board. They're good when you're behind, but with this deck you just want to stay ahead and just keep pounding down pressure, putting face damage. Eventually you can lose board once you get enough face damage, just like old Secret Mage. So this game here, I'm just trying to get as many minions as I can rather than the secrets, while he's still not on a ton of mana yet. Flak Mage is amazing with some of these new cards though, and just secrets in general. Never really saw its time to shine yet, but it seems really good now. Okay, so my Druid opponent's going the good old turn 4, whatever this is, this play with the survival, but luckily I have a pretty strong hand here. I actually don't remember if I win this game or lose this one because I queued quite a few Druids today. So I might lose or I might win. Yeah, I opted for Mirror Entity. I figure it's just good after he plays survival. Yeah, more about the meta stuff and just sort of general observations with the new expansion is I've seen from my games a lot of Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter can't be bad right now. Like, it's just good. I feel like Demon Hunter is always going to be good unless it hits a huge nerf bat or something, which I'm not saying it needs a huge nerf bat, but I feel like it just does so many things so well. Il'gynoth seems like a really scary card. It's a new Demon Hunter card, and it seems really, really scary. It synergizes with Lifesteal and just does more face damage. I don't like it. So yeah, you can kind of see Flak Mages have been getting a lot of value to clear these guys this game. But you gotta be scared. There's one Druid card that is terrifying with survival. Hopefully we won't see that. And it's kind of weird like commentating Mage but also this game at the same time. So my general thoughts on how Mage is looking is sort of middle of the pack, pretty good. Oh, so let me pause that for a second. This is sort of one of the new Druid minions, which a lot of people have built their deck around today, I've noticed. I'm not sure if this is too slow, but this is only turn 6, which is pretty good. So this is a 9 mana card, taunt, summon copies, so when they're all buffed, but it can fill the whole board with these. I had a game today where he filled the board with 7 of these, and I was like just short of killing him. It was pretty sad. This one though is close to 3/8/8 taunts. It's pretty darn good. And then we see Rigged Fair game just getting more cheap draw to find the burn, the removal. But I guess this deck's biggest weakness is just the average quality of card, especially mid and late game. Like, you can have some pretty strong synergy plays, right? Like Kirin Tor, Secret into Occult, but just when you don't really get those hands together, you're stuck with some pretty awkward hands. Like this hand's alright. Not too awkward. I have a lot of damage in hand. Going back to Mage, I think it's sort of middle of the pack now. Cyclone Mage still seems like it has potential for the best deck of Mage. It's really hard to go wrong with Cyclone just because Cyclone has early game. Cyclone has really good early game, and I feel like in this meta, like, you kind of have to have early game. If I'm a late game deck, it's really hard to beat this stuff. It's really hard to beat, like, aggressive decks when you're a late game Mage, because late game Mage doesn't have all that much healing, and it hasn't for a while, so sometimes it can just be hard to win late game when you just can't sustain. So I feel like I'm a little forced to play not aggro, just faster decks, or decks that can just make stuff happen early. I will be testing like slow elementals and Reno builds, probably tonight actually. There's still, I feel like, a ton I can do with Mage. Yeah, so he almost gets there, but he took, see, my Occult Conjure basically carried this game. It's been on this board the whole game, and it got enough damage to sort of just get there to finish him off before things started getting dicey. So yeah, this is sort of Secret Mage. Maybe I'll show a little more secret gameplay in a second. Yeah, games kind of look like that. A lot of the time you like save secrets. Like, I didn't play the Entity early this game apparently to get Flak Mages and Occults. It's a tricky and pretty fun deck. Oh yeah, Sage. That's what I wanted to talk about. So right now I have Sage, but if I skip later into the stream, I will not have Sage because I was pretty sad about this one. Like, I didn't predict Sage to be good. It's sort of where I expected it, maybe even a little worse, unfortunately. But it just is so slow. Like I was just talking about, I feel like we need early game in this meta. And like around turn 5 and 6, I feel like you need to be doing a reactive play, and you can't really just jam a Sage because card draw isn't that valuable either. Now that we have Rigged Fair Game and a couple other cycle cards, we don't really need that draw cards for such a slow costed card. So I'm really sad where I feel like Sage could have been maybe a lot more playable. Definitely a lot more playable if maybe they gave it Taunt or Rush just a little bit more to make it less of a just 6 mana 5/5. Because like I was also saying earlier, this deck gets a lot weaker when you have to react to boards. So when you play a 6 mana 5/5 Sage, you're gonna kind of lose board. So currently I have Sage cut from the deck, and I didn't really miss it. I think I played maybe 15 games or something, and I don't think Sage was useful really ever. Yeah, this game I'm just trying my best to clear with Flak Mage. I actually lose the game because I went a little greedy here against this new minion, the corrupt one. I didn't know, but I wanted to go face. Generally you go face with this deck if you can, because you don't have infinite amounts of damage. You really gotta just get there with what you have. So generally I'll try to go face unless there's a good trade on board. But yeah, he ends up trading this and then shadow stepping it and then corrupting it because it was 1 mana, or he 10-wood it to 1 mana, and then yeah, he made an 8/8, so I got kind of punished there for not trading. Yeah, see, this is sort of where you get to that spot, you fall behind, and then you just kind of lose. When you fall behind on board, you just can't do anything to come back. Then the last deck I played was sort of just Cyclone Mage, like small spell Mage. Talked about it earlier with Lunacy. Oh yeah, I'll show you this game, or a bit of this game. So this was pretty much the only game I actually drew Lunacy on 2. It looks like a pretty good setup here with Confection, Lunacy, Cyclone, but maybe I need to run Antonitis or something, because I felt like I needed more value. Yeah, I'll kind of skip through this one. Pretty much just Lunacy on 2. I experimented with this Lunacy, and then you replace 1 mana spells with 4 mana spells, and that's mostly it. But 4 mana spells seemed a little too underwhelming right now. They didn't seem high enough value. This is a really interesting game. I had Sorc Apprentice and then 1 mana Potion, 1 mana Germ, so I could make 7 Sorc Apprentices pretty easily for like very cheap if I wanted to. I end up trying to wait for some crazy combo with this and then Divine Shielding everything. Like, these spells could have been good if I just got more value, but sadly just couldn't get enough value, and Demon Hunter is just so hard to beat sometimes. But yeah, I end up just trying to have to make this board because I didn't really draw anything, and then this is my hand now. This game went really long, I think. Pretty well, longer than it should have. Okay, what happened? I made an ogre. Just putting up on the board. Try to conjure. Oh yeah, I got Water Bear. Almost saved me from conjuring my Jandis. But I think the Skull of Gul'dan's and the lifesteal is a bit too much. I think this is an Il'gynoth game. I think he Il'gynoths me here. But yeah, Il'gynoth is a really strong card. I hope Demon Hunter gets nerfed. I don't want to be the guy that calls for nerfs, but I would just like to see less on the ladder because I don't have anything against anybody that plays the class at all. I just think it's not that fun to play against, so I kind of like roll my eyes when I queue Demon Hunters because it's just not fun playing around really good removal, well, pretty good removal, really good sustain, and really hard pressure that's pretty hard to counter. Yeah, I don't think I quite got there. Yeah, and then I just almost 1 turn off, but just too low, too little too late. Wasn't an attempt at the Lunacy. I'll still maybe try this Cyclone Lunacy out more, but actually can have a good opportunity to look at the deck here and why I think Cyclone is the best mage, because Cyclone got better. I'm pretty confident that Allies and Confection Cyclone is just better than like the Wand Maker, Wand Thief that we had in before. I liked Wand Maker and Wand Thief, but I find that card draw just finds the giants and is really good. I'm trying out 1 Grand Finale, and Grand Finale is a really awesome card actually. It can really swing games. I'll get some gameplay for my next videos of all this new stuff. Like, today was just sort of being a commentary video, hopefully not too boring. Not super organized. This is another Lunacy game, and I'm just drawing Lunacy like crazy. Yeah, I just top deck Lunacy here. This one, actually, Lunacy was really good, I think. At least pretty good. We'll see. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I need card draw, and then I top deck a sprint, so that figures that one out. So I just coin the sprint. But yeah, you'll definitely notice a much less impactful Lunacy draw than the other deck, but I still end up getting some pretty good stuff here. Like this turn, he made a really normally scary turn. Like I would have a hard time with in most situations, but like just drawing this cheap removal really helped me out here. And then I figure if you don't draw Lunacy with this deck, it's fine, right? It's Cyclone Mage. I mean, yeah, it's a bad draw late game, but still it could save you from some spots. But I think the deck might just have a few too many minions for it to work. There's too many good minions, I think. I think it was around 17 minions, or 15? No, like 15 or 17 minions, which is a ton, so I think I did end up making the conclusion that probably better without Lunacy. Yeah, so Lunacy didn't completely blow him out, but I think it still helps. It could have also been like way more high roll with different spells. Yeah, and then we're just sort of doing the normal Cyclone stuff here. Hopefully I'm not skipping too much that it's annoying. But yeah, I think we just sort of out-tempo him, get that 0 mana giant. That's another thing. When you play those Lunacy cards, like when I played all those, yeah, Assassinate and Poly or whatever, they reduce the giant, which is a nice upside. You lose the conjure sometimes, but still pretty good. Yeah, ended up getting another draw, and then once you get draw, Lunacy is just really good. And then, yeah, I get to that Conjure Calling turn. And then it gets pretty easy from here. Now, thanks for watching my first Darkmoon Faire video. The plan now is just to get back streaming and testing decks. I want to test Reno Mage, I want to test like Grand Finale Elemental Mage, and just more of what I've been playing since they're pretty fun. So thanks for watching. All the links should be in description. Make sure to check out my stream, fb.gg/apxvoid, and hopefully I'll see you there.